Meanwhile, an easing of lockdown measures in New Zealand. More from our EBC correspondent there, Bea Borja. Hello, Bea. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, Alma.
What are your updates for us? How are you doing?
Good.
Okay.
Today, it was announced that New Zealand's alert level 4 will be finally eased to alert level 3 on Monday, the 28th of April. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern announced today that the country will remain under alert level 4 lockdown until 11:59 p.m., the 27th of April. Several criteria were considered in coming up with this decision. One of such factors is the remarkably positive result of anti-COVID-19 measures adopted by the government. New Zealand has recorded a 0.48 transmission rate, while the rest of the world has an average of 2. This means that a person in the country who has COVID-19 will, on average, unlikely pass it on to another person. It also has a low proportion of serious cases. Only 3 of 14 cases are in intensive care units. These are the cases that are in the hospital. It also has one of the lowest mortality rates. There were only 12 recorded deaths out of a combined total of 1,440 confirmed and probable cases. Another important consideration is the significant increase in the capacity and pace of testing and contact tracing. More than 85,000 people have been tested, and the National Contact Tracing Center is able to trace up to 5,000 contacts a day. Work is underway to further increase these capacities. Finally, the high trust and confidence that New Zealanders will continue to stick to the plan contributed to the decision to move down to alert level 3. Google tracking reports show that most New Zealanders stayed home during the lockdown period. This high level of compliance resulted in the ability of the health system to handle the treatment of positive cases and allowed it to further scale up tracing and testing capacities. The Prime Minister stated that the goal of elimination does not mean 0 cases. It means 0 tolerance for cases. With these developments, her message to New Zealanders is stay strong, stay home, be kind, and finish what we started.
All right. Bea, can you tell me something a little about yourself? Aside from being a correspondent for EBC, you are also a law student, aren't you?
I am a lawyer.
You are a lawyer. Okay. Attorney Bea, can you tell us how has this crisis impacted your whole life?
It has
How has it
changed.
changed your life? Yeah.
It has changed my life in that I started to value life more day by day rather than looking too far into the future. Because now I realize that even this young, it's not so certain what the future holds. And sorry, that's so deep. But then, for the most part, I realized that life is uncertain. We were never prepared for anything like this. We never saw this coming in our lives. And the last time this happened was 100 years ago. And I doubt that most of us have seen how that turned out. And now we're living through this, and it's impacting our lives greatly. In that we also see how different people respond differently to this type of crisis, and also how governments have handled these types of crisis very differently from each other, and the kinds of results that they are getting. So all of that is a lot to take in, but I'm glad that I am here with my family and that we are home safe, but I'm also worried about the other people who are not as comfortable and as privileged as I am. So yeah, that sometimes it gets me emotional too.
Oh. How are you and your family coping with this crisis? How do you get yourselves optimistic despite the dark side of it?
We're looking forward to finally getting out of this. But in spite of that, since my dad works at the embassy, we've been busy processing the applications for the $200 assistance from the Philippine government.
Oh.
And that has taken a lot of my time. I am helping him with that. And it gives me a sense of fulfillment that in a way we are able to help, extend help to our fellow Filipinos here. So it's certainly a privilege for our family to be able to extend that help for our government.
Can you tell me more about the $200 aid to Filipinos there affected by the COVID-19 crisis?
Yeah, sure. It's available for Filipinos who have been displaced, either
Okay.
temporarily or permanently due to the COVID-19 response of the government. So they are required to submit their applications through the Facebook page that we have set up, and they are going to fill up the application form and submit their requirements that we would need from them. And this would be available for Filipinos, OFWs, who either lost their job or had to stop working and are not earning and are not getting a wage subsidy from the New Zealand government. Because the New Zealand government has also responded quite largely to this crisis by providing for a multi-billion-dollar wage subsidy scheme for workers.
All right. Thank you so much, Bea, for all that. And I'll see you soon for more updates over there in New Zealand. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. This is Bea Borja reporting from Wellington City, New Zealand. We live in interesting times.